Hi guys, it is October, officially October. For a lot of us that means fall, even though fall technically started by the calendar like a week ago. If you watched the last video of my top baits for October, if you haven't, you can check that out somewhere up here. I will link that there or whatever, tag that. That's the word, tag that. I'll tag that there. Then you already know a little bit about, kind of what my approach is for fishing in the fall, fishing in October. So first, let's jump right into it. The swim jig, one of the most versatile baits ever made, just a jig in general. A lot of people get caught up in swim jig. Well, let me tell you something. You can swim any jig. Now, what I'm looking for is going to be for the swim jig deal is going to be laydowns, boat docks, anything like that. But what I'm really focusing on are transition areas. I'm looking for banks that are leading into the mouths of pockets or flats. I'm looking for areas that are going to get a lot of wind. As things cool down, we're going to start getting some north winds. Those fish will position on these lakes and rivers a lot of times based on wind direction. So I'm looking at those north facing banks that's going to get the most of that wind coming into them. But I want lead-ins. I want places where fish that are coming off the main lake, I'm looking for little stopping points. Predominantly isolated cover. The swim jig for me is going to be, like I said, laydowns, boat docks, something I can fish the cover very effectively and quickly. And now that's going to be a pretty common thread here. That's what I'm looking for. So early October with the swim jig, the buzz bait, and the spinner bait, those are the areas we're going to cover. Windy banks, isolated cover. I don't want to pull up to a bank that has 100 laydowns on it. I want to pull up to a bank that has 2 or 3 so that it kind of narrows down where those fish are going to be and just makes me more productive fishing higher percentage areas. So that kind of covers really all 3 of those baits. I'm fishing those, lead-in areas.
Dang, you're on a roll.
Here we go. Better than we can run. There's another.
Hold on. Save me some. Hold on.
Losing it.
Dang. I need to put my on spare bait.
Nice. Huh?
So I just need to put my on spare bait.
Bingo. Told you there's some big fish on this bank.
I guess I need to be throwing a buzz bait. I want to catch one.
Alright.
That up, right?
Got him. Okay, and then the other areas that I like to fish with this, same thing, spinnerbait, buzzbait, and this is fishing channel banks. I want to fish where the channel first leaves the bank, or where the channel first comes back in. So where the channel and the flat meet the bank, that is the areas that I'm going to target with a buzzbait, spinnerbait, and the swim jig or my jig I'm flipping. And I'm looking there again for very isolated pieces of cover. I don't want to have a blue million things to pick apart. I want to hit a few individual pieces of cover and roll on to the next one. Okay, and then the last thing that I really focus on, and this is going to be more towards the end of October. When we get to the end of October, I'm going to start moving back and fishing the backs of these pockets and the ditches that are coming in the back, or isolated pieces of cover in the back of the pocket. Now, I'm not typically going all the way to the very back. I'm finding where the ditch or drain comes in, which side does it favor. If you can find isolated pieces of cover out in the middle that are around that ditch or drain, high percentage areas, especially if they still have some water on them, 3, 4, 5 foot of water. But if I go towards the back of the pocket, what I'm looking for is the last little bit of deeper water before it gets really flat. So if we've got, a pocket that's 15 foot deep and it steps up, and then in the back we've got a 2 foot deep flat, I want to find the last bit of water before we hit that 2 foot deep flat, like that 4, 5, 6 foot. And I'm looking for isolated cover either related to the ditch or drain out in the middle or on the bank. But just there again, isolated laydown, isolated stump, patch of grass, a boat dock. It could be anything, but something that's just by itself with not a lot of it around. And it just makes me fish faster and I'm more productive because I can cover more spots in a day. So that is kind of how I break it down in the fall and primarily in October. As we get into November, then things are going to change. Some baits are going to change for me. Some locations are going to change. We're going to go from that shallow water deal to where now the fish are kind of coming back out, following the bait from that transition, and they're going to set up on areas that are very close to where they're going to winter. But we will touch base on that in November. Until then, good luck out on the water, guys. We hope to see you, and hopefully this information will help you. If you have any questions, please comment below. If you're not a subscriber, take the time to subscribe. We greatly appreciate your viewership. Helps us grow the channel, and it's fun to know that we can help some people out and be more productive and catch more fish. You all take care. Have a great week.